since.
But is Benjamin, I should just say, I'm Meredith Heckman if I haven't met you yet. So nice to meet you. And is Benjamin Grenier?
Griner.
Griner, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. And Richard, Lab,
Here.
Deborah, Metzger, Douglas, is it Moquin?
McQuinn.
Moquin? David Schmidt,
Yes.
Mitchell Sermon. Okay, and Elaine Dahl.
Okay. And we got our assistant here, Tony. That's good. Okay. Public comment and communications. Okay. Anybody want to act like they're a member of the public? How's your chance? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right, Tony, you can do it. Meeting minutes from November 6th. That should be in your packet. Just take a moment to look at these.
So there has to be a change to this with the BART bus, yeah?
Well,
We negotiated that and that is now forever, yeah?
Is it forever? I know it's through 25 for sure.
I think they came back and said it's gonna be for real.
well, we don't have to change the minutes at all. Unless did you tell us that last time? Well, I don't think you did. I think you said you were trying, it might be forever.
Well, you're right, it
Yeah.
could be, yeah. We got it.
I don't think veterans, just go for it. I think it's gonna come back. Veterans are no longer going to pay for purpose.
And that is noted on the calendar for veterans that do get the calendar. There's a phone number that they can get that information.
So when you go to get your, please tell people when they go to get that star on their driver's license, that's a requirement here. Come in and get the veteran identifier on their driver's license. That's what you need to get the ride. And it works free.
So
You put that on there?
I gave you the paper that you took to the DMV to get it on there.
So question about the minutes though. Are these the most recent minutes?
Yes.
I'm reading from November.
November 6th?
Yeah. Oh, we didn't meet.
No, we didn't meet earlier.
My memory
3
is
months
telling
out.
me. So we canceled or we just skipped it? Or
Kept getting canceled now.
Okay.
I think it was just canceled once due to turnover of
We didn't have
people
any more.
that we had.
Well, it's tough at that time of year to get a quorum.
I couldn't remember if that was really the last time.
Yep, and that one was up at the
Up there.
normal building. Yep.
I'll move to it.
I'll second it. We got a motion second and approve the minutes as printed. Any further discussion?
I didn't
Oh,
catch,
Meredith?
I didn't catch who motioned on
No,
second.
not bad.
Yes, see your name, so it helps her out.
And I seconded.
Okay, thank you. And you're Mitch, right?
Richard,
Richard, I'm sorry.
I got the hair. I've still got hair on my head. Next week on 42. Okay, all right. Okay, all those in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Minutes are approved. Moving on to number 3, commission membership, new appointments. So I assume we all were validated at the board meeting?
Yes.
We were.
Yes, you were. All approved.
Congrats. Okay. So I'll make sure. Bylaws, commission, and commission roles and responsibilities in your packets.
So this addition under tenure, I don't remember us talking about that last time, but is that like a new county kind of?
Where you at? Where you at?
What column, what number?
So you just need to look at the red.
Yeah.
So the second,
No, I understand.
okay, I apologize. We can go through the first one. I remember us talking about that first one. And I'm fine with the second one, the 1 in 10 year. I was just curious if that became a county policy or how that ended up there, because I don't know what we're talking about.
It's a 3-year term. It's been like that.
Yeah.
And now you're question number 3. That-
Right, I just don't
That
remember
if we
talking
can't find a
about it.
replacement, that you can extend another year. That's getting to be common with all of these committees, because I'm on.
That was,
three other
that was
ones.
the
Yeah.
question, if that was.
It's
no,
very hard to find anybody to step
Step up.
forward.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we were talking to think about it, on maybe eliminating that. But it's not good to be on one of these for 20 years. You know,
No, it's not.
It's not a good thing.
And I'm fine with it being added to the bylaws. I think it makes sense. I just be
Yeah.
curious about what are we talking.
Yeah, you did, I remember that, that was remote.
Okay.
And I think the thing is where it says additional term and crossing out of 1 year. Otherwise, potentially what you're going to do is asking every year you're gonna ask the board to renew your thing every year, and that's gonna become redundant. You might as well just do it for an additional 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Additional term versus additional. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
It seems to me that, given the situations that we're in these days, I mean, it's the same thing in a couple other organizations. You try to find people to serve. That's, so, okay, so we need to amend our bylaws to include this. Let's see, should we go through the,
We got some changes on that.
we got changes on the next page, yeah. We'll do them all, so, okay, we got that one taken care of. On Article 6, meetings.
We talked about 4, yeah.
Or, yeah.
I can't remember if did we decide on like, is there an ejection protocol there or? No, 'cause it says we'll contact them, but what if they miss a third after that? Is it a vote then, or is it?
But I think that becomes a new issue. I think
Okay.
the first one, I remember us talking about this, and we thought that we should check in and see what's the situation, so we know what we're facing.
Okay.
Remember, we had that problem here, years past, we had one person that we had to change the time to 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do it earlier,
That person's still on.
Yeah, she's still not telling.
Which is what I would bring up. later.
and that's my problem. I mean, that person's not showing up, hasn't showed up for how long? And we went, and made
last year.
this meeting longer just to compensate for that person, and, you know, a lot of us didn't wanna have it
Did
this
she say
late.
she was coming today remotely?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay,
I
when we
don't-
handle it,
No,
let's
and I
handle
don't
the
know who
bylaw
called
now,
using
and
it.
Yep, then we'll
if
go,
after I could bring up,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion on that. but-
Oh, motion.
No, I'm sorry, I just said we're gonna talk about the bylaws now, and then I want to make a motion about that after this agenda.
Any further discussion on the bylaws and the amendments that we're looking at?
We both last time that we just,
well, these were the changes that were made last time, and then they were able to be voted on.
okay.
just type.
Yeah.
Then I move that we approve the changes to the bylaws as voted on.
Right?
Yeah.
Motion, second. Any further discussion?
Are there any other additions?
Or any other additions that you would like to make or changes?
Mitch.
All those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
If I could just interject with the fifth agenda item we wanted on you. Unfortunately, I'm sad to do it, but I move that we remove Brittany from the members of our commission.
I don't believe we can do it, because it's not public.
Problem is it hurts quorum.
Huh?
It hurts quorum.
I know it does, but we don't legally have it
Yeah, do we have the
on
right
our
to do
agenda
it?
to do that, right?
Do we even have a right to do that?
Well, I think you, there again, I'm not a voting member, but I think you have to follow now established rules, which is contact her,
Yep.
That's what I'll,
send out the letter if you wanna continue,
there you go.
I think,
Yeah.
yeah, a letter.
and then.
No, there's nothing about a letter.
No, but I think that
No,
would be
but it says,
Okay.
it says you're gonna,
Okay.
you're gonna contact. Good contact,
Okay.
that's what you do.
however you contact her, if the chair wants to call her and check, or wants
You
to
know,
send a
you
letter,
have the
it's
interest
up
to
to the chair.
continue, and that's.
Yes, and in the event that you don't get an answer, well, then that would state that she's not interested in continuing.
There you go.
And then put it on the agenda for the next meeting. Yes, and we would address it.
I mean, that's not actually a requirement to do somebody from the, we don't have that. It's just if they missed two. I mean, at this point, we're so far past, she came to the first meeting.
Yeah.
And I get it, we wanna be extra careful with your contact. I know,
But it was all last year, she didn't attend them.
No, right.
When is, it's well beyond 200 excused or unexcused.
I think it's just perfunctory at this point. Just go ahead and do it.
December of
Tear
this
the
year,
Band-Aid off.
September the
December of this year. 25.
20th.
She's done December.
She's done.
25.
Oh, you're just gonna let it.
Let's let it just ride out.
All right.
You're hurting quorum until you do that, because,
I know you.
How many
I got it.
meetings for?
well, usually it's half plus one. I don't know what it is in this case. Go here, where we see it.
I believe there's 8,
So you need the minimum of 4. Right?
but now there's 8, but these are
There's 8, so you need 4.
5,
So you
5.
gotta
Five.
remember, really, that
Yes, you
seat
need
shouldn't be filled.
Okay, I'll make that motion. You're gonna, don't second it, that's fine, but I made the motion. So there, I got it.
So what, to let her write?
No, to remove her from the commission for you. And if no one seconds it, we don't vote on it, that's fine.
Is that considered a member?
Yes.
Oh, zero number. I was trying to figure out the rate. Okay. I know Tony's not.
He's not, I,
And what my rationale is,
I understand.
I understand.
You're gonna- We got a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second it. Okay, got a second. So we're now up to discussion. I think we should, give this. Yes, Tony, has she been contacted before?
Yeah.
I think she has, yes.
So, in all honesty, the bylaws, even though they weren't put in the motion, the bylaws that are been voted on by you have already been followed. They have contacted her via Facebook.
Okay.
We've done all this.
Okay, has she responded back at all?
Yeah.
yes, and she did express an interest of doing it as long as she could remotely. But there again, she didn't reply for this meeting.
And this was when we were, what, 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah,
Twice she hasn't.
well, even longer than that. I think it's been the last 3 meetings.
Well,
that
she started a new job, and then,
And that's when we changed the hours,
yeah, so on and
to
so
make it a
forth.
little bit later, so it'd be easier for her.
But the point is, the attempts that we were gonna reach out, we have already done.
I understand.
I'm not a voting member, so if you want my opinion, then it's making the right call.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is no characterization of her. I think the door should be open to her if at some point she, job situation changes and she wants to be on it, absolutely again. It's just, it's not working out right now. It has nothing really to do with her. It's just the situation.
But there's gonna come a point, Dave, you're gonna be busy, you're not gonna be able to make it.
That's where you got the remote. Pretty
Sure.
soon.
I mean,
I go along with you, but
And I respect people saying. no.
about their interest to continue as a commission member. In order for me to go along with that, I have to have a letter in writing to back it.
okay,
She
there
can
it
take
is.
you to court for this issue if you wanna just get rid of her today. I'll tell you that. You gotta really watch with this open meetings.
That's
And it
true.
it doesn't give us the power to do that today.
We don't,
Well, actually, no, that just says what the protocol is.
It,
If
do-
it's convenient.
it does,
Our
but,
bylaws say nothing about moving people.
but it says, is she interested? So I need a letter from her or
We're
an
not gonna get
email,
a letter.
or give me an email from her that says she is not interested anymore.
Does the county have
Oh.
any kind of bylaws?
Bob, she got a phone? Call her right
I
now.
can look.
You
I
can.
did do, I
the only-
did
the
do
only problem
some
with that is
research
that
on
she expressed- yes,
the
I-
bylaws and the rules and the
But
statutes.
you can.
I did some
That's-
You did?
well,
Okay.
That's it.
And I
we
do
just-
have it
well,
in an
that's
email
why
to
it's in the
Deb.
letter, she says, she's coming here next.
Assume I
week,
didn't
is what
see
I
it.
want.
Yeah.
And she doesn't. show
I just,
it.
I am worried that
That's
it wasn't on the agenda.
I don't know.
And that could be too.
She was,
You're right.
she did have March
And
nineteenth
if you
on the
guys did
calendar,
vote
but that one was canceled
It
because
might
it was
be
not
not
posted in time. so
Closer
we
because it's that, but yeah,
Okay,
I would be
I
careful.
didn't text her before.
I'm
to see
not
if she was
certain.
coming today. Still, she would have got the email
Okay.
and applied to the staff.
Meredith raised a good point, which is what you just raised, and you're gonna see people listening to this thing, because it's not on the agenda, I'll withdraw.
Yeah, it's,
So we have a provision where we can take care of this.
I'll
now.
move to include it on the agenda next time.
okay, so that'll be an item on the agenda for next time.
Okay, membership?
Sure, well,
How would we
that'd be fine, you can put it on there.
put it under the attending meetings?
And then.
Discussion of
reach out
attending
to her
meetings.
In between to find out if she wants to continue.
Put it under discussion of attending meetings.
Well, this is our bylaw, we don't need to put it on that.
Well, it's fair.
Unless you wanna make more changes to the bylaw.
No, it's very good.
Okay.
I'm just saying that you gotta have some.
Just a point of clarity, I want to make sure that she has missed 2 excused or unexcused absences to our meetings in a calendar year. Has she done that? That's what our bylaws say.
She has not been here since I started.
I'm thinking more than 2, I think, which was 3. Wait,
I didn't see her last year
I
at all.
think it's actually, we have 4 meetings.
I don't think I shared it last year at all. Okay, so, she meets that. Yeah, so I just want to make sure that, yeah, I'm gonna make the call, write her a letter, want to make sure that, yeah.
I mean, I'm not in any hurry to do this.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay, take care of it. We'll put it on the agenda for next time so we can make sure it's clear. Okay. Are we on to number 5? Mark Paul's Vietnam Monument, is that the up that day?
Yeah, they'll be putting it up on Highway 13 by the library. So,
Is this site been selected?
yeah, it'll be right there in the corner.
On the corner?
They, we're talking about down the old areas down at the park.
Yeah.
But that takes you what you call off of the designated trail. And I showed him and explained to him, you can't do that, it's gotta stay on 13 by the day.
Good.
I don't understand why they, what big deal with, why.
Why it had to be moved off that property, don't even get into it. I told you, you don't even wanna, no, I
No, it was
don't,
a good spot right there.
it's where it should have stayed.
That's where it should have stayed.
That's a plus for the YMCA.
I thought when they built that building. What a freaking debacle, they could have made that building twice the size it is.
Paul's got a lot of money.
They're broke.
Well, they're borrowing money.
I don't live there.
The freaking hypo for the YMCA, it's a sliver of what they had everyone imagining it was going to be.
Yeah, it's sad that that's.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's taken care of, it's just a matter when it's up, and when it gets up, I'll take pictures and all that.
Okay,
So that
so it's
way,
under control. Good.
Have they kind of set the timeline or?
I haven't talked to them at all, it should be going. I would think for the next couple of weeks, the frost is on the ground now.
Yeah. So let's keep this on the agenda, so we make sure we bring it.
Yeah,
up.
yeah, you keep it up.
Keep it on the agenda. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, number 6.
I drop my interest in it.
I did too, you and I talked about it, I mean, you can't get it. You can't hardly get them to do anything in the Legion or the VFW.
It's difficult.
And they try to get this started, the closest one is Rhineland. So if you wanna become a member of the Disabled American Veterans Post, you can join Rhineland if you want.
Lady Smith.
Lady Smith got one now too? Okay.
Didn't Medford have one too?
Well, Stetsonville.
So who's closer? I guess it's just a matter of which one.
Well, Lady Smith has a very active auxiliary with a few EAV members. So, and, well, when I get to my turn, I'll talk about
Does that roll into the transportation thing? I think that was, those are connected.
Were they? Let's see. I think they were, yes.
Yeah,
that. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that was a way we could get the band to come into Price County
it's,
if we had a chapter here, which would be a big plus for these guys. So what do? Should we just go through the paperwork, open up and we'll call a meeting and who shows up? I don't know what to
you
do.
need interest in there.
Yeah, but
We have all the forms, we have point of contact, and we were gonna try to start it out. We can't get nobody, I do not. We can't get women to be auxiliary members, we can't get men to be, hell, we can't even get people to join the damn VFW. You know, so
yeah, so start another one. Or
to
just
start a DAV chapter,
have the same problem.
you know, the only advantage the only advantage over the DAV and the American Legion, the DAV lifetime is a one and done.
It's done.
It's similar to the VFW. Whereas the American Legion, so if you're 55 years old and you want to pay a lifetime for the American Legion, you're gonna pay $1,400.
Yeah.
Yeah, their
You're gonna
price is
have to
so much
live
higher.
to be 115 before you benefit your first month. DAV, if you're 55, it's 400, I think it's 400 and
Is it that much? I can't remember. I joined for a few years.
I think it's 400. Or maybe that's the VFW. I have a comparison for all of that. But the DAV is cheaper than all of them. But still at that, nobody wants to, Mike Peterson is the commander.
Oh,
You know,
Lady Smith? I'll look that up on the webpage and see when they.
and his wife is the state commander of that exhibit.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, we had them last year up at Gibson City. They're trying to get members.
yeah,
Oh, that's right, they were up in Park Falls too.
she's relentless at trying to expand, because they do the releases across America.
Yeah.
Just pounding it. So,
Okay.
Everybody understand how transportation vans work? I mean, are they assigned by county, are they assigned by organization, or are they assigned?
so the one in Medford was donated, well, bought and donated by partners. Then it's managed through the transportation department in Milwaukee. So Milwaukee basically writes them a grant. Says, you're gonna travel or haul veterans around. The problem with getting them up here is they have to abide by DOT rules. So if they come up Park Falls, go to Iron Mountain. And if that bus has to go back to Taylor County every night. So if they go up to Iron Mountain, or if they go down to Tacoma, or they go to Milwaukee, after 10 hours, that van has to go back to Taylor County. That's the rules. And, well, it is what, I mean, we ended up with, what was our grant this year? We ended up with, $1,753
For transportation.
for our transportation.
What's our normal cost?
We spent over $3,000, but the county budgets us $3,000. And then we get the grant on top, so. The tough part about it is the veteran that doesn't have any wheels, right? Has dialysis 3 times a week. And then you're reliant on ADRC. So then volunteers. Now what happens if you have to volunteer?
comes down with the flu, or comes down with whatever. You can't have there's no backup for that, you know what I mean? Whereas if you had, say, the DAV van, that might be a good backup or a more reliable source, who knows?
The park bus is doing a good job, because there's 3 guys from Park Falls that
There
are
is.
getting dialysis that are riding that.
Absolutely.
And they are very thankful for that.
Absolutely.
Because
And
their
it's-
wife would go nuts driving over it, because once you go over and have it, you're not supposed to drive for a couple hours.
Yep.
And we had one guy that decided to drive home, very good friend of mine. His wife called me, David, the sheriff's got my husband pulled over. He's going into the ditch. It was, luckily, the sheriff caught him. He had probably been dead.
How much need is there for a van if we have part now doing this?
The need for the van has gone down. I've been here for 9.5 years. The need for a van in this county has gone down probably 65%.
Okay,
That park bus.
so it's not like a pressing concern.
If we were to have this conversation 7 years ago, I would have been, I mean, I was begging for a used van with a chairlift. Because if I have a veteran that has a wheelchair, I have to get it out of Abbotsford at $350 an hour. And then pay it 65 cents a mile. So we had a veteran that lived in Prentice and would have to come up here to Marshfield Clinic. The only way to get him there was to contract through this, what was it, Apple? Yeah, Apple Lift, I think it was, out of Abbotsford, or Abbey Lift, that's what it was. They had the tailgate in the back, $350. Pick them up, bring them up here, 65 cents a mile, take them back, and it's mileage from the garage back to the garage. It's a freaking highway robbery, dude. I'm gonna buy a fleet of them.
That'd be, yeah, really.
I've seen the van down in, Tolman.
Yeah.
So that.
And yeah,
Making a lot of money.
absolutely, absolutely.
I
But
mean, the
now-
65 cents is the going rate, but then they charge a flat fee of 3, what did you say?
$3.50 an hour.
An hour.
Yeah, so you could be there for 4 or 5 hours at that clinic.
No. Well, they've now come down off of that because there's a lot more of them now. You have Comfort,
It's competition.
there's competition. But the whole thing is, the BART bus now, they're wheelchair accessible too.
Yeah,
So-
they got a nice one.
Yeah.
Nice buses.
Yep.
I actually rode in it just to see how the guys went on the house with you, it's a bus.
Yeah. But hell, you can get on it in Prentice and you can go all the way up to the Contain Casino.
The Ashford.
Yeah.
For little or nothing.
Like $8.
You can't drive your vehicle, you hop on it. You go over grocery shop at the dock, but you can't drive over there.
Yeah.
Well, it's free for us, you
That's
know.
what the lady, she brought her husband and she's like, oh, me and the girls go up to the casino on Tuesday. We leave at 7 in the morning, we come back at 9:30 at night. Jeez, no wonder he's broke. Only costs us $8. Yeah. Oh, you're there.
Okay.
So that's something we don't have to.
Okay, event reports. Number 8. Oh, you got that covered?
So in the packets or the newsletters is all the flyers. And on the back, that puts the calendar together. The next closest event is the 23rd. Is going to be the Tri-County event, which is going to be Lincoln County, Taylor County, Price County, over in Lincoln County at the new post over there.
That's a beautiful pole.
The barrel one?
Oh,
Not
The big barrel one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
We're gonna have 30, or 25 25 to 30 vendors. The only vendor that we're gonna have that I contributed to was, Ms. DeBur, who is, the insurance advisor. Because Toma's gonna have all the people from the, the normal group that comes up here, they're gonna be there. And then Lincoln's gonna have all their county people there. Basically, one county is the same as another county, all their assets are the same as ours. If you're energy assistant, it's a state. Energy assistant is a state program, so it doesn't matter if it's Price County or if it's Lincoln County, it's energy assistance. Same thing with SNAP, it's different financial guidelines, but, and then we'll be over there to answer questions and whatever, whatever might be in your mind. We'll be over there from 1 to 5.
Did anybody vote to that, I just want. That Victor Christian? Yeah, April 12th.
Oh, sir.
Good.
Yeah.
That
was good.
Well,
Yeah,
you
like
go to
40
people that for us, you need to go and pay respect to these places.
Yeah.
And just, anybody else?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Sir. Yeah.
Then, May 30th was canceled. That's the, Oneida, that was then the multi-county. That was canceled because of Hodag,
Tell them collapse.
you know,
I was gonna ask about that.
yeah, that's a shame.
How bad? How bad is it? It's not playable. They can't just,
It just got tore up, the ice just.
it's done.
They said on the news that the damage wasn't as bad as they thought it was gonna be, and they were gonna be able to
Well,
get it back. Did the company came in that?
no, the vendors pulled out. Last year, we had over 375 veterans from all the counties.
No, but I mean, what, they've been talking on, I watched, Rylander,
I got you.
and they've been talking about that, and they said that if they had the company come in and checked it out, and the damage isn't as bad as they thought it was going to be, and that they figured they were gonna be able to get it back up again in a short time. I don't know, they didn't give a time
Not
frame on
time
it.
for the.
Not debate, they won't have
Well,
a debate.
No, they didn't give a time frame on it, but they just said they didn't think it was bad as,
That's what they initially.
that's what it looked like.
Yeah, the way they came was pretty, yeah, they came off pretty quick and said that it's done. And they had to cancel everything. They had all vendors in there, I mean, that's a big area, and it was vendors from one end to the other.
It was like a convention.
Yep.
Last year.
We had
You know.
375 veterans come through. And then their spouses. So, a lot of people. So, and then, that's it for events.
Okay.
And I mean, that's the biggest. event.
What's your last day?
That's an
So,
upcoming event.
20, my last day is the 30th.
His last day in the office is the 29th of May.
Never replacement.
No,
The 22nd.
I mean, is there any applicants, has it been?
17 applicants. Interviews will be the 22nd and 23rd. So hopefully we get somebody in there before he's gone, but they're not gonna be accredited and ready to go.
Okay, is the county board doing that, or is there a special? You're gonna be sitting in, I hope.
I get to sit and watch.
That's it.
Yes.
You have
I
no-
want to be part of it. Oh.
You don't, or you don't.
Do you get to meet him?
No,
How about,
there are clients that are applying. And it looks like an unfair advantage
Okay.
if someone either gets
I-
it or doesn't get it.
So I understand what you're saying, but I didn't want.
I just think there should be a veteran on it.
What did
Well,
they ask?
there is, I'm in it.
Did they ask for any input on the questions though? Like.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
And
And
then
that's a tough position, you just can't throw, can't in with the line. I mean, that's a lot of stuff to learn. Thank heavens, you're gonna be in here, but now I would think they're gonna have to jack her hours up a little bit, because you're gonna have this person.
we've been told we have 47 other counties that can help.
Oh, is that, okay. So
So
they're
really
bringing
is-
another county person, So you did that once, didn't you help somebody down below?
He's done that with so many of them.
Okay, all right, well, that's what we're gonna do then, as long as it's covered.
Well, we can sit and talk about
Yeah,
it.
no, as long as it's covered some way, I'd say.
But that question.
So so part of that, I guess, would be the event. On the 20th and 29th, I'm gonna be down in Milwaukee.
Fucking May, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, April. Turning my remaining claims over to the POAs. So what does that mean? That means 3 months ago, I had 278 claims sitting in the federal hopper, down to 77. I've been working with the regional office to reduce the amount of, whoever comes in is gonna have very small pop. I've got 2 legacy claims, meaning claims that were under the old, they're at the appeal of their old legacy claims. So that means I've already done the appellate hearings and so on and so forth. They're just sitting, waiting for a lawyer or a judge to make a decision. So I have 77 plus 14 claims in the hopper that I'll be going down to talk to the VFW, the American Legion, and the WPA. I have appointments with them. Taking my computer down and go, these are my notes, this is what I've done, this is where it's at, it's sitting in the hopper. This is where I've talked to, I've talked to this VA guy or this VA girl, these are our notes. Next, I'll go through every claim that's out there. So I work for a POA, a federal POA. I'm a county guy. So I work for the WPA or the American Legion or the VFW. I'm going to turn my claims over to that federal entity. So whoever comes in isn't going to be, oh shit, what do I got to do? What do I got to? They're going to have time to learn the job. I think it behooves of me to do that.
Good.
So that's an event that's worth noting.
And on the 29th of May, from 1 to 3, in the second floor conference room, we're gonna have a farewell to Tony.
What day is that?
May 29th, it's a Thursday, from 1 until 3.
That's where we held that one meeting at?
Yes. Yep. It'll be second floor conference room, normal building.
Open bar.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I'm buying some pizzas. Hope you guys like some free pizzas.
He's bringing in pizzas and Deadline is bringing in cake.
She is?
Yes, I told you that.
Right,
I don't think they get empty room, is it?
It will be on the calendar next month, and it's throughout the newsletter for next month. So it's not yet in this one because we wanted to make sure everything was copacetic before we said it.
Tony, refresh me, over the history of this commission, have we ever been asked to participate in replacement of a veteran service officer? Or is that strictly a county board employment decision?
It's an executive committee / administrator specific.
Okay.
Okay, but now, do they have a form in front of them from our headquarters? County Veteran Service Officers in the state? Is there a questionnaire that they ask this individual? I mean, these people never run the service. Probably most of them on the board, I don't know, or whoever the executive committee is. You're sitting there interviewing somebody for a job, you don't have any idea what it is.
So when I went through the process, I was interviewed by the entire executive board.
Executive, okay.
Yeah. So Nick was there and the entire executive committee was there. So
I mean, it'd be interesting, what the heck are they looking for?
I've interviewed for this job in like 3 different counties, so the questions are all different.
Yeah, I know they're different, but do they pertain to office, I imagine?
Oh, Stock County, yeah, Taylor County, no. It's just, it seems to be, I don't think there's like a standard advisement from, you're talking about like the state association of BSOs, I don't think they have
That
anything.
they have something
I
together
don't, yeah,
for your county board to look for.
Oh, they should.
Yeah, you know,
so, cause what you're, what you're asking is whether or not there's a standardized set of questions that would be asked of an individual. Well, no, because each office is going to be different. When you're a veteran service office, you run your office the way your clientele needs to be ran. You know,
I mean, when you came in here, the other person we had it was completely run opposite.
Way better.
Oh. We don't know comments.
I mean, and I say it all the time. The person that takes over from me is going to be 10 times better than me. At least they should be.
In this day and
Because,
age, guys, you were.
because when I took it over, we were still filling out every claim with a pencil and
Yeah.
and we were looking
File.
at envelopes and peeling stamps.
Yeah.
So I went from the 19th century to the 21st century. Now you have a system in place. You don't have all the struggles of getting to where it is today. It's already done. So whoever takes over for me is ready to run, ready to go. I hope I can. It's that simple. That transition should be very simple. I've got some health issues going on and I'm burned out.
Now, are they gonna have you here for like, well, maybe a week?
I'll be here until May 30th. And then I'm going on vacation.
And they're interviewing when?
The 22nd is one
Of
more.
April.
Of April. Okay, so they should have that person on board maybe the 1st of May or so?
There's probably gonna be a 2-week time for the transition in job. If they're already employed someplace else, they're probably gonna wanna give notice before they leave.
So it all depends. I mean,
Okay.
We will keep an open mind and trust our elected appointed officials. Anything coming up for Memorial Day that we could, any changes,
So we handed out already a lot of the flags. If you have cemeteries that need flags, you need to, let us know. I mean, we have 144, 288, we have 3 boxes of 144, so that's 422. That's what we have left. That's it.
The Park Falls put their lot in.
The Park Falls called us. But that could be because we've been given a lot to Park
We
Falls.
might not need it because we wanted to just stay ahead a little bit, so I think we're good to go. Mark does a good job.
And so, but this, to be honest with you, I was shocked. I didn't get nothing except from Andy. He wanted, the flag holders and the flags, he came and got them way early, probably February. I was blown away. It was like January, the end of January, first part of February.
I think George asked for 10 of them.
Yeah, George asked, that was for
Phillips.
Phillips and then Pete for Prentice.
what time of year last year were those grave markers on? Is that springtime?
Right, week before.
The week before Memorial Day?
Yeah, because I had to pay $180 express mail down overnight.
I don't think there's anything we can do to prevent that happening. It's nuts.
Yeah. I got that.
Yeah.
And they don't have enough webcams to put all over, to cover every place.
We're changing our Main Street this year. We're going away from the flags on Main Street. We're going with the banner flags,
With pictures.
banner flags, no pictures. The flag is on both sides.
Oh,
And then what it will be is, once we get going on this and how it works, then veterans will have the opportunity, if they wanna buy one with their picture on it, and they'll go kind of opposite or whatever. The reason why we're doing this is, there's not a flag out there that can take a highway anymore. It just, I mean, we were embarrassed last year as veterans. The flags, you go down the street, they were good. A week later, they're torn, they're circled around and jammed up. It just is a mess. So we've been paying attention, especially me, because I do a lot of travel and vacationing that. These little communities are all going to that. It really looks nice. It fills up the town. We're gonna have the real ones downtown, every other pole or something down there, because we have a bunch of them.
use them up.
That just lets you know that's, what you'll see in Park Falls and see.
Tony, off the top of your head, how many veterans do we have in the county now?
1,258.
1250.
That's by the GX report from last year.
You gave us a figure, maybe you don't remember what that was, but how much money is brought into the county?
10,858,000. That's with everything. That's
10 million?
And that's medical compensation, education, that's everything.
Everything,
That's the whole ball of wax. It's the whole enchilada.
Do you think the VA will do anything, to mark your transition, retirement? Because like, these are the kinds of things that would be nice to put in an article in the paper and get out. Because it is, I think it's, it's nice for us to know, but it'd be good for the community.
I think it's good.
Well, actually, that information is put out in the newspaper.
I don't read the paper up here for enough, so, you
Nick-
can educate me.
Nick and Kerry put that out at budget time. They put out a nice little graph, and
Yeah.
it says your veteran service office, which brings in 10,584,000, costs you on 100,000, can sold 50 cents.
Yeah,
All
So,
counties should have that before the budget year. County board meeting, what's that time of year? We should
I
have
don't
that
really,
report.
like, I know that,
I
I don't, but is it the paper?
He's talking about.
Like Memorial Day's coming up at the same time you're retiring, it's like, be a nice time to get a little spread in the paper that's kind of talks about Memorial Day, Tony, and veterans of Bryce County.
I'm doing a farewell article.
It's great.
So,
Jack, what else?
Tom is working with me right now.
Okay, good.
Nothing, I can't do it all at once because I get a little sad.
Okay, that's where I was at.
Because Deb's that kind of person. So,
Okay, anything else on your office?
you want updates?
Yeah, any updates for
Okay,
us?
so going back to DAB, so DAB auxiliary gave the office in the Veterans of Price County $400 and $25 gas cards since the last meeting. The Price County Aid to a Needy Veteran Fund also bought $250 and $50 grocery cards, gift cards from Pick and Save, which we gave out $200 already. The reason we did that is because we were getting a lot of people in asking for cash because they didn't have money. With inflation up at 9%, people were hurting. We don't have money in our office. It's one of the first things I did is I did it away paying cash. Cash is the root of all evil. I have gas cards and I have grocery grocery cards. So that's it.
That's good.
So we have, as of right now, we have out of the 400, we have, I believe, $150 worth of gas cards left, and we have $50 of the grocery cards left.
So if our post wanted to buy, just buy gift cards and you use them for groceries or gas, you can use them both ways, right?
Nope. So Quick Trip will do only gas.
Okay,
That's the way we want it.
okay.
And if you wanted to donate to the Veteran Service Office, say Super One Foods,
Go to Super One and get grocery cards from them and
Yep.
give them to you.
and donate them to us. But if you, and then like the American Legion Riders donated $400 in cash, that goes to our Aid to a Needy Veteran Fund, which we donated or deposited in our Aid to a Needy Veteran Fund. So what's the Aid to a Needy Veteran Fund for? We had just this last year, 3 homeless veterans, which we put up in the hotel for over the weekend until I could get Debbie May, who is the work coordinator, to take on their case and put them into either a voucher or hook up with SSBF and put them into more of a long-term type thing. So that's how the county and the state and the federal government work. So sometimes we have to have that Aid to a Needy Veteran monies, but it's not cash money. I use the county credit card, I go down to the hotel, pay for their weekend. Danny May comes in, she does a workup, boom, they're in a voucher program.
So, question about in and out here, so the 400 you got from the DAV, 400 you got from American Legion Riders,
Well, the 400's in gas cards,
okay, and then you brought how much in grocery cards?
250,
And you're down to 125?
150 in gas cards.
So my question is like, are you gonna be short up for those things going forward? Like, is that something you could
That's above and beyond what the county,
use
A
for
lot.
transportation budget? But
that's above and beyond our.
so my question is, would it help you, right, are you saying like, this money needs to last you how long?
There's no time period.
When do you
So
expect,
somebody donates one.
okay, do we have like the DAV donation, is that like an annual thing or is that a one-off?
I think they did the last
They
2
did
years.
last year, they did about the same last year. She comes in and,
So you could benefit like from some more donations, maybe.
Oh,
Get some Legion and
Take all the
VFWs.
donations you can get.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but
I used to get donations from the Tavern League all the time, and
used to,
yeah,
not anymore.
not as much because it's the economy. I mean,
Because I was just thinking like, on the van thing, okay, if the need for the van isn't there, then maybe we don't pursue that, but I keep looking at Taylor County because I live in South Price County, and I see what they've done for their VFW veterans, and how the whole veteran community in Taylor County is thrown in to help with that. I was just thinking, if there's something that we could coordinate, the look you're already doing, will help, but like all of the VSOs, the veteran service organizations in the county, maybe once a year we do something to try to like raise just a little bit of money collectively, maybe for that fund. Or,
Well, exactly what you're talking about. We used to sell T-shirts right out of my office. Remember, we did pie sales. We did hot dogs right out here. This office used to do, when I first started here, we used to do all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, it was all about monies, donations.
Yeah.
And
put my thought out there, like, I don't know that it would have to be something you guys would do.
Well,
But,
it's-
if it's something the whole county wanted to get together and
yeah,
work
I
together
mean,
on.
it's,
This place come earlier, we got here, set up a booth there and have a sign for a fundraiser for supporting veterans in Price County that can't get foods, they don't have enough money for
Yeah.
food or whatever. I couldn't imagine that you'd probably
Oh,
take.
we used to-
These people come from all over the state, Minnesota, everywhere.
We used to go to, right there in your back in your yard there, to the truck, buy $20 cards.
Well, if we
What's
set
that place called, Ruby's,
Andrew.
Pantry?
Yeah.
We used to buy,
For movies, for people, they're $25, we get a trunk load of groceries. once a month.
$40.
I don't know what you do with all of it, I went there a couple of times, my God.
But it sounds like there's a need for these cards. And it sounds
Oh, yeah.
like there's a need for donations. And I don't know, working with Taylor County Fair, I know you got plenty of things out like forms. If someone from the rodeo that we've talked to about, I have no problem sitting at a booth.
What is your name, here? What is?
Rocca.
Yeah.
Rocca family.
Yeah, and I know personally.
I don't know what her name is now, because she got married, the young, big daughter that runs it, but, I mean, there'd be somebody just to ask them. And they might even say, no, you don't need to set up, we'll donate a percentage. If this is the problem you got, you don't know, you gotta go.
Yeah. Well, they're the
You
ones
don't have
that-
any idea, I mean, money's there.
And the
Yeah,
fair,
it's not an agenda item, but
and the fair committee.
It's under our
is,
commission.
Rhonda Vogel out at the top,
I know her, not Rosanna.
or, yeah, present.
Yeah, I know her well. Okay.
She's,
Yeah,
uh,
she's the
in
fair
charge of
committee.
the fair. This committee.
It's a thought to have, and our next meeting is gonna be when, July, which is. right
1 month
before that time.
before,
Yeah,
It'll be done.
and it'll be, right before the, rodeo, actually.
Oh, is that just before?
Yeah, the road is the 4th of July.
Fourth of July, isn't
Yes.
it?
Oh, so it'll be right, yeah,
Let it be before the fair.
yeah, be before.
But the voting's the one I think.
okay, does who knows this person from the rodeo? Tony, you know
What's that?
the rodeo people?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean,
Could you ask them that if, if they could set up a table or maybe
yeah, I can do that.
and if they say yes, then shoot me an email, I'll send it to the table.
Oh, yeah,
Roseanne
explain to
is
them what it's for and everything, and
Roseanne is the one in
I'll
charge
talk
of
to
the
Roseanne.
fairground down there?
That's for the fair, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll see her on the 26th.
she's for the fair.
That's the Price
That's the
County,
fair.
Price County Commander.
Sounds like the
We
rodeo,
had her last meeting.
sounds like the rodeo is the bigger deal.
Well,
That's what
We can do both.
Yeah, we could. It's just a table. I just wanna talk about it
I
now.
didn't know that the rodeo was separate.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Rodeo is
Yeah, I know,
4th
but
of
it's
July.
the same grounds, I thought
And fair is
26th.
the end of the month.
Cause isn't the fairground owned privately now and then they just use it? Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything as far as compete.
Yeah.
I used to get that as the.
Okay,
Yes.
let's move on because anyway, got some good ideas. I'm for fundraisers. A fundraiser by itself sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. I like the idea of piggybacking on something that's already going on as an organized event and then have something there. That seemed because the people are already there for another reason, they pass by and that goes and, maybe we can, that can be helped to support the office. Yeah, it's pretty hard to turn down somebody when they come in, they need food or gas or a place to stay, for the sakes, tough one. So, anyway, let's go move on, number 10, which is commissioner reports. Start with you. Anything?
I already told him mine.
Oh, go ahead.
Yep, I'm all done.
You're not, okay. Ken?
No.
Lane, you okay?
Fine, yes.
All right.
Yep.
You're good. Nothing to report. Anyway, so we got our next meeting coming up in July. So it's out there, but not that far away. It goes quite fast.
It's good, Tony. Yeah. Tony, you
I was supposed to, but I forgot to say, I didn't forget my book, but it just popped in my head. Yesterday, I had the secretary of the VA from Wisconsin, James Bond, in my office.
Let me stop again.
Yep, for 2 hours. So it was a wonderful meeting.
did lost it.
Yep, just watching it. I was on.
All the way up here.
This is twice. This is twice now. and, was actually on a conference call when he walked in. And, he says, oh, no, don't worry, I'll wait. And I know that voice. And, so I got off the call, we had to wait for like 5 minutes. And, what the hell, and I said, what the hell are you doing here? This is, you're the only guy that talked to me like that. So, I mean, you're retiring, why are you retiring? And we talked, but he wanted me to pass on to you all, because I said we had permission meeting today. This guy did not stick around. You want me to pass on to you all? Thank you for the work that you're doing for our veterans in West County. It's good. So,
Did he join you?
Hmm?
Did he join you?
the last time he was here.
He
As long as
travels,
he got a coin.
he travels all over. If you look at his,
Yep, yeah.
if you look at his monthly, he is at a lot of these places. That's what you want.
He's on his way up to Bayfield, and, he's looking at potentially, retiring in 2 years. Unless, you can speak real long.
Well, good. Think you got a chance to
Yeah, we,
share your final thoughts with him.
he says usually when he stops in at a service office, it's like 15 minutes.
He must have felt pretty good with you.
Well, he likes to air it out. I don't know why.
That's good.
I guess you're leaving. He knows.
Oh, last time he was
I
up,
didn't know that last
Oh.
time.
he was there for an hour. He's like, damn it, I gotta go. So,
Okay, we got, future agenda items. Anything that, we covered today, we mentioned a couple things we want to bring back. But,
Meredith, can you tell us what we mentioned so far?
Yes. Okay, keep on the agenda the Park Falls Vietnam Monument. That agenda item.
Yep.
And, membership attendance. From which we were talking about before.
those two things.
So those two things. Was there anything else?
Anything else that you can think of that you'd like on the agenda for next time? If you do, we can still.
Orientation with the new VSO. If that's gonna be
Okay,
obvious.
that's, there you go. Excellent then. Yeah,
It'll be a meet and greet. That's a good thing.
Yep.
Maybe he's done it before, but
Is somebody gonna get in contact with this individual? Voice to voice or a letter to her, so we got something?
I lost it here.
on Brittany?
yes.
I lost it here.
We're gonna send her a letter.
Okay, good, good,
We're
good.
gonna get it right.
Yeah, that's what, and we want a response back from her.
If she doesn't respond, we'll-
Then that means she's not interested in my book. We don't get a response back in writing. Yep, you'll put that in the letter.
And I'm wondering,
Well, then she's done.
I'm wondering if you could you do an addendum with a simple response, are you interested, check?
Yeah.
Or not interested, check,
Yeah, sure.
where you could send that out with a free postage envelope. Does that make
There you
sense?
go. So we don't
So
get.
better.
Problem is that she could be interested, but can she make the meeting?
Well, I
The
guess
last,
you don't
the
have
last
to-
time we had a chance to talk to her, she said, yeah, she's interested in staying on it. We changed the hours so that we could more accommodate her,
I understand.
and we haven't heard from her since.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would
It's
add
not
an
so much
addendum
interest.
and make that addendum as strict as possible. You have to make the next meeting
Yeah.
showing interest. Put the meeting date and time. If you can do this, check yes. Enclosed as a pre-stamped envelope and mail it back. Failure to do so is indicating no interest.
And if we just approve these bylaws, and I would send that one, Article 6, then 4 paragraphs, I would send that to her so she knows what's going on.
Okay.
Don't
that's
send the whole thing, just Article 6,
Article 6.
meetings.
That's something I would be more than happy to send it out by mail or email if I could work together with the chair.
Sure.
and then email it to you, get your approval, because it would have to come from you
You bet.
probably, and I don't mind mailing or emailing or however you want me to do it, and tell me what you want in it.
Okay, we'll talk about
Okay.
it. Okay, good.
I don't think we welcome you.
Hi.
Well, we
No, no, nobody introduced
So,
you.
well, we. Yeah, that's correct.
Did I not introduce you?
I said hi at the beginning.
We didn't think of everything.
Hi,
I'm
thank
sorry.
you.
Tell us about you.
Listen, tell us about yourself a little bit.
I'm the Prairie County clerk for about 4 months,
Okay, how's it going?
but I have a great deputy, and I work next to the treasurer and the treasurer's deputy, and it's a good time. So you should come visit us.
Good.
Thanks. Yes, she is. Thank you.
Bottle of vodka in the bottom.
Bring the orange juice.
But you're saying future agenda items. So we can-
Yeah, future agenda items, and let's make sure we cover that. I think we got two of them that we want to follow up on. But anyway, if there are future agenda items, contact me, contact Meredith. We can get them on. This-
She did send
That's-
out an email with we may need to include the whole, committee when we're looking to see if there's any additional items that need to be added to an
Good, yeah.
agenda.
You can do that. Yeah. I'll-
Sure. Sure. That'll be good.
And whoever's gonna be in charge of the fair, possibly setting up, or rodeo or whatever, send your information to her so she can send us an email out to keep us up to date. Don't send it to me individually, because
I
I
think
can't.
the best person would be you. I'm just joking.
I-
Here, we'll keep going. If we don't have, I'll move to adjourn if we don't have any further.
I think we're ready to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second, okay. All those in favor? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Yours back, please.
You all have a good one.
You have the right personality.
I don't, but my problem is I just don't know.
Well, I don't.
Oh, I thought you did.
Well, I mean,
My chair was here when I got here.
So you got everything ready for 4? No?
Everyone to do? Things going.
Thanks for joining, Elaine.
We gotta keep together.